Look into a mirror. Really look. What you see gazing back at you isn't just a color. It's a survival tool, a biological shield, and a map of a 200,000-year struggle for existence. Most people believe their eyes are blue, green, or hazel because of pigment, like paint on a canvas. But here is the first glitch in your reality. Blue and green pigments do not exist in the human eye. If you have blue eyes, you are looking at a structural trick of physics, a literal scattering of light that mimics the color of the sky. If you have green eyes, you are a walking genetic cocktail so rare that you represent only 2% of the entire human species. Today, we are stripping away the myths. We are going beyond the look to uncover the forbidden origins of your gaze. We will explore how a single genetic glitch near the Black Sea changed the human face forever. Why the SLC24A5 gene and the quest for vitamin D forced our ancestors to transform, and the anthropological mystery of why some eye colors spread like wildfire while others remained on the brink of extinction. From the deep melanin shields of the African savannah to the icy blue mutation of the Neolithic expansion, this is the definitive story of how you see the world, and more importantly, how the world sees you. But to understand the glitches that created the world's rarest gazes, we first have to look back at the original blueprint. Before the mutations, there was only one color that stood between our ancestors and total extinction. Let's look into the darkness of the ancient shield. For over 200,000 years, there was no choice. To be human was to have brown eyes. This wasn't an aesthetic preference, it was a non-negotiable requirement for survival. Our story begins under the brutal, unforgiving sun of the African savannah. Here, the sun isn't just a light source, it's a photonic bombardment of ultraviolet radiation. To survive this, nature developed the ultimate biological shield, melanin. Melanin is a pigment so powerful it absorbs up to 90% of the light entering your eye. It functions as a natural, internal sunscreen built directly into your iris. For early humans, this wasn't cosmetic, it was DNA protection. Melanin absorbs harmful UV rays before they can scatter and damage the delicate DNA within your eye cells. But there's a secret to brown eyes that most people miss. Because melanin absorbs light rather than scattering it, brown-eyed people experience significantly less glare sensitivity. They maintain clearer, sharper vision in intense daylight. This is why, even today, brown eyes dominate in populations closer to the equator. However, if you look closely at a brown eye in the soft flicker of candlelight or the low glow of a setting sun, you'll see something magical. Golden or amber flashes. This isn't a change in color, it's physics. It's the light playing across the layered structure of the iris, revealing that even the darkest eyes have a complex golden heart. But as our ancestors began the human migration out of Africa and into the dim, overcast regions of the north, the shield that saved them in the savannah began to become a liability. For 200,000 years, the dark shield held firm. But as our ancestors pushed into the shadows of the north, the sun began to fade, and the biological rules were about to be broken. Somewhere near the Black Sea, a single genetic error was waiting to rewrite the human face forever. Every single person with blue eyes on this planet, from a child in Norway to a villager in the mountains of Afghanistan, is related. Research from the University of Copenhagen has traced this back to a single individual who lived between 6,000 and 10,000 years ago, likely near the Black Sea region. This person was born with a specific genetic glitch in the HERC2 gene. This mutation didn't create blue pigment. Instead, it acted like a biological dimmer switch, effectively turning off the body's ability to produce melanin in the iris. Before this mutation, the world was a sea of brown. After it, a new chapter of human migration began. But here is the mystery that baffles researchers. Blue eyes aren't actually blue. The iris of a blue-eyed person contains almost no pigment. When light enters, something called Rayleigh scattering occurs. Shorter blue wavelengths scatter back out toward the observer, while longer red wavelengths are absorbed. It is the exact same phenomenon that makes the sky appear blue. Your eyes are a piece of the sky captured in a biological lens. The mystery of the rapid spread. Why did this error spread so fast? In just a few thousand years, blue eyes went from a single person to 95% frequency in parts of northern Europe. One theory is functional. In the long, dark northern winters, blue eyes allowed more photons to reach the retina, potentially enhancing vision in dim light. Another theory is more human, sexual selection. Blue eyes were so rare, so striking, and so different that they became a high-value signal, accelerating their spread through mate preference. Recent DNA analysis of ancient remains, like the famous CheddarMan or the Yamnaya warriors, has demolished old assumptions. We now know that some early Europeans had blue eyes paired with dark, African-like skin. This proves that white skin evolution and light eyes didn't happen at the same time. The eyes changed first. While the blue mutation was like a light switch being flipped on, another adaptation was emerging in the deepest mists of the north, a color that didn't just scatter light, but mastered the gray, overcast skies. This is the story of the genetic ghost.
If blue eyes are a glitch, gray eyes are a ghost. Found in less than 3% of the global population, gray eyes are often mistaken for blue, but they are functionally and genetically distinct. Gray eyes contain even less melanin than blue eyes. The scattering effect here isn't just blue, it's a diffuse scattering across multiple wavelengths, creating a steel-like, neutral appearance. Scientists believe gray eyes were an extreme adaptation for the most light-starved regions of northern Europe and Asia. In places where overcast skies are the norm, gray eyes provided the ultimate sensitivity to what little light was available. Culturally, gray eyes have always been shrouded in mystery. They are often associated with wisdom, detachment, and emotional control. Because there is less color variation to track, people with gray eyes are often perceived as harder to read. But this neutrality comes with a trade-off: extreme UV vulnerability. For a gray-eyed person, the modern world's artificial glare and thinning ozone layer are constant challenges that their ancestors never had to face. Lack of color is one way to survive the dark, but what happens when nature tries to strike a perfect, fragile balance? Most people think green is just a shade, but in reality, it's a high-stakes chemical gamble that only 2% of the world wins.
Now we reach the pinnacle of rarity. Only 2% of the world has green eyes. Green eyes are not a single mutation, they're a genetic cocktail. To get green, your DNA must strike a precarious balance between at least 16 different genes. You need a moderate level of melanin, not enough to be brown, but too much to be blue, mixed with a rare yellow pigment called lipochrome. When the blue light of scattering mixes with the yellow of the pigment, you get that mossy, emerald, or forest green hue. This makes green eyes chemically unstable. They're the most sensitive to environmental changes. They can appear golden green in bright sun and shift toward gray or hazel in the shadows. This dynamic quality made them the focal point of folklore. In medieval Europe, green eyes were the mark of supernatural abilities or even witchcraft. In reality, they're most common in people of Celtic and Germanic ancestry. In places like Ireland and Scotland, the rare green eye becomes the norm, proving that even the most unlikely genetic combinations can dominate if the environment is right. Green is the result of a fragile cocktail, but some of us carry an even more mysterious gift: eyes that refuse to be defined by a single color at all. Meet the survivalist chameleons of the human race. About 5% of the world carries the most versatile eyes in history, hazel. Hazel eyes are the ultimate chameleons. They aren't just one color, they're a physical phenomenon. Depending on the lighting, your clothes, or even your mood, they can shift from forest green to golden brown. This isn't an optical illusion. Hazel eyes have a unique distribution of melanin, often concentrated around the pupil with lighter scattering on the outer edges. Evolutionarily, this was a massive advantage. Hazel eyes represent the middle ground, the bridge between the dark and the light. They offer moderate UV protection while maintaining reasonable light sensitivity. This made them perfectly adapted for mixed environments, temperate climates with changing seasons, where you might face blinding sun one day and deep forest shade the next. They are the all-terrain eyes of the human species. Adaptability is one thing, but intensity is another. While hazel eyes hide in the environment, there is a golden gaze that stands out with the cold precision of a predator, and it's often mistaken for something far more common. Often confused with hazel or light brown, amber eyes are distinctly different and incredibly rare, less than 5%. Unlike hazel, which shifts, amber eyes stay a solid golden copper. This color comes from an unusually high concentration of lipochrome and very little melanin. This coloration is almost identical to the eyes of predatory animals like wolves, owls, and eagles. From an evolutionary perspective, amber eyes likely evolved as a visual signal. Their striking, intense appearance may have been selected through mate preference. Humans subconsciously associate this golden glow with alertness, confidence, and predatory focus. If you have amber eyes, you carry a signal of intensity that has been respected and feared throughout history. From the predator's gold, we move back to the absolute power of the light absorbers. If blue eyes are a trick of physics, then these eyes are a masterclass in biological protection, so deep that the light simply vanishes. Here is a secret. True black eyes do not exist. What we perceive as black is actually an extreme, dense concentration of dark brown melanin. It is so saturated that the iris absorbs nearly 100% of the light that hits it. In equatorial regions, this is the gold standard for survival. These eyes filter out the harshest glare and minimize eye strain in a way that no other color can. Culturally, they have been linked to mystery and strength. Because the dense melanin masks the dilation of the pupil, it's harder to read the emotions of someone with black eyes, leading to a perception of power and inscrutability. The dark void is the ultimate rule of symmetry. But what happens when the genetic code itself gets confused? What happens when one body carries two different stories? This is where the symmetry breaks and the magic begins. Less than 1% of humans break the rules of symmetry. Heterochromia, having two different colored eyes, is a result of a disruption in melanin distribution during development. Whether caused by a minor mutation or mosaicism, these eyes have been seen as signs of duality or divine favor. They are a reminder that our DNA is not a rigid blueprint, but a living, breathing, and sometimes glitching code that loves to surprise us. These rare glitches and broken symmetries are fascinating, but they are all part of a much larger tapestry. Every color we've explored today leads back to a single, profound truth about who you are. Your eye color is a living archive. Every time you look in the mirror, you are seeing a chapter of a 200,000-year-old story. You are seeing the melanin shields that allowed your ancestors to survive the African heat. You are seeing the SLC24A5 mutation that allowed them to colonize the cold north. You are seeing the genetic glitches and the biological adaptations that allowed a single species to conquer every corner of this planet. From the brown-eyed pioneers of the savannah to the blue-eyed survivors of the Ice Age, your gaze is the result of a genetic lottery that spans millennia. You aren't just a color, you are the embodiment of survival. Your skin, your eyes, your blood, they are all chapters in this incredible saga. If this journey shifted your perspective today, give us a like to support the research. And if you're ready to go even deeper, stay tuned for our next investigation into a bloodline so mysterious that some believe it's not even from this earth. We're talking about the forbidden origins of Rh-negative blood. Is it ancient, or is it something else entirely? Subscribe now so you're the first to know. This is Lost Origins. Keep looking deeper. We'll see you in the next mystery.